Good morning and welcome to Sunday, the Lord's Day, or at least that's what Christians call it. And it's interesting that we do that actually, because in fact, if God is God, then he owns everything. He owns every day, not just Sunday. And he owns everything that ever happens inside any day. And so to call this the Lord's Day is a little bit, sort of human of us, sort of try to give God a little bit of time so we can have all of the rest of it. But today, being the Lord's Day, good day to stop and take a little bit of time for God. Christians do that by going off to church and maybe praying or reading their Bible, which they should do every day, but doing a bit more of that on a Sunday. And funnily enough, a lot of people have the feeling that they've done their religious duty. I went off to church, did my thing, and then they come back in the afternoon or whatever and have all the rest of the time for themselves. Now, I know that not all of you watching this are great followers of God. You may not even have any Christian inkling in your head at all, but as a chaplain, I want to just encourage you to think about the fact that today is a good day to pay some attention to God, to give him a little bit of yourself. Now, one of the ways you can do that quite easily, especially when there's lockdown and not a lot of other things to amuse us, is to go online and check out some of the multitude of church services that are now being broadcast. You can choose between the kind of traditional sort of churches, preachy kind of churches, to very musicy, clappy sort of churches. I dip in usually on a Sunday and look at different churches to see what they're doing. We've enjoyed some great kids services that people have put on, heard some great preaching. I've already recorded my sermon that's going to be played for the Macedonian church that I support here in Melbourne. That's being played today, but I recorded that back on Thursday, so I've done my recording work. If you want to catch that message, you can find that on my Getting On With Life with Pastor Chris Field YouTube channel, and you'll see my sermon there if you'd like to watch that. But there's a whole bunch of churches putting out a whole bunch of stuff. And today could be an interesting exercise to sit down and say, hey, I'm going to dip into some other church. In fact, if you do go and watch your own church online, maybe that's still a good idea to dip into what some of the other people are doing and just get a sense for what Christian people do to worship God, to think about spiritual things, how they apply the Bible to their lives, how different churches tackle the situation we're in today from their perspective, whatever their particular emphasis might be. So I'm going to encourage you, since this is the Lord's Day, to make it a day to give God a bit of extra special attention. Can you do that? I'd like to think you did. Meanwhile, this week coming up, I've got a bunch of different things I want to stir you with morning by morning. So I'm looking forward to the week that's ahead. Thank you for being with us. This is the end of the first week that I've put together of messages, and I'm just sort of excited about the fact that this project's up and running. You've been a part of that. Thank you for that. Continue to tell your friends about the Covid Chaplain, and I look forward to being able to catch up to you and encourage you in the week that's ahead. God bless you.